Good morning, Bill Panoff here with Porthole Cruise Magazine, and we're here with our friend and colleague Peter Greenberg, the multiple Emmy award-winning investigative reporter, travel editor for CBS News, and host of The Travel Detective, as well as host of the award-winning show, The Royal Tour on PBS. Peter, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, Bill.
It's nice to see you. You know, last time we saw each other, remarkably, I think it was on a cruise ship.
Who would ever guess? I know that seems like it was yesterday, and it seems like it was 100 years ago.
Let me ask you, Peter, many cruise lines, as you know, are set to sail this winter, but obviously it's up to the CDC. When do you think cruising will return, in your opinion?
Well, right now it's the optics of it all. You know, there's still a CDC No Sale Order in effect that extends through next month. I have every reason to believe the CDC will extend it even further. Remember, as part of the CDC requirements, the cruise lines were supposed to present comprehensive plans for not only redesigning their hygiene protocols and their design protocols, including the floor plans of cabins and public areas. They're supposed to be involved in an ongoing discussion with the CDC so they can implement that. I'm not aware that that discussion has even started yet. So my guess is, for all intents and purposes, there may be one or two cruises that sneak through the end of this year, maybe in the Galapagos, maybe down in South America, but for all practical purposes, we're really talking January, February 2021.
2021, yeah. We've seen Major League Baseball restart and continue despite COVID outbreaks, et cetera. But when a cruise line has a case, the media hysteria is at an all-time high. Do you think there's an unfair double standard there?
Well, the word you used was media hysteria, and as a member of the media, I would resent that. But let's talk about it. The bottom line is this. We live in a world of citizen journalists. Everybody's got a cell phone. Everybody's got a camera. And everybody uses it. And the cruise lines need to know that. And of course, they do know that. It's not about Major League Baseball restarting. We've already seen with MSC and now with Costa, the start on a limited basis of the resumption of cruising in the Mediterranean with no US passengers on board, sort of a test run to see if people can be responsible, well-behaved, if they can practice those protocols and play by the rules. And I'm waiting to hear back from the MSC folks after their second cruise is just completed to see if that's happened. The preliminary reports have been that it went pretty well.
Positive,
yeah. So that will take place outside the US. And as word of mouth spreads and as news spreads that they were able to do this successfully with different protocols in place, you cannot leave the cruise ship and go strolling on your own. You have to be escorted and chaperoned. They're going to be testing you at every chance they can. And the real bottom line here has nothing to do with media hysteria, and it has nothing to do with a vaccine. Take the idea of a vaccine and put it on a distant shelf. It's a nice idea, but let's be honest. What's the overriding lesson that we learned from the movie Saving Private Ryan? Not a good idea to be in the first wave. And so as a result, even if a vaccine happened this moment while you and I are speaking, 1/3 of America wouldn't take it. They wouldn't trust it. 1/3 of America would be standing around to see if the first third died. And the last third would probably be calling QAnon. So, I mean, I'm all in favor of a great vaccine that's scalable, that's going through all the proper clinical trials, and that works. Right now, we're not there. And despite all reports from the White House to the contrary, I wouldn't count on it. Now, would I be happy if it happened? You bet. Who wouldn't be? The reality is that's not what's going to pivot the cruise lines or the rest of the travel industry. What's going to turn things around is the widespread, fast response, reliable testing, where on a biometric level, you can get a response within 30 or 45 seconds as to whether or not you're positive. And that will happen to you at every touch point of your trip, whether you're going to a movie theater or a restaurant, or you're going to a theme park in Orlando, or you're getting on and off a cruise ship or going into a public space, whether it's a dining room, an entertainment facility on board, or taking a shore excursion. So that's the key. And I know they're working very hard at getting that. And my bet is you'll see that testing technology a lot faster implemented than you will see a vaccine.
Right. So Royal Caribbean and Norwegian partnered to establish this health sale panel over a month ago, but we've yet to hear any news about embarkation protocols, et cetera. I guess you anticipate, and they would anticipate testing almost every guest before they step foot on the ship.
Oh, exactly what I just said. It's not going to be negotiable. It's going to be, it's a hard line deal. You don't have to partner with anybody to figure that out.
Sure.
What you do have to figure out, though, is where is the leadership here? And I applaud NCL and Royal Caribbean for partnering here because they didn't want to wait. They wanted to say, we're not going to wait for government regulations. Let's anticipate what they may be, what the new protocols may be, and let's get it going so that we don't lose another 6 months or a year in the process. I support that. What I don't support is the lack of leadership on a government level, on a widespread across the board level, so that there's some guidance here that people can actually follow. So a lot of the things that RCCL and NCL may be doing may be implemented and approved by the CDC. Some of it may be outside that box. I don't mind outside the box as long as it works, but the bottom line is the other cruise lines, whether it's Crystal or Carnival or some of the smaller lines or the subsidiaries of Royal Caribbean and Carnival, they've got to get in line and realize the 1 5-letter word that they should not ever have in their vocabulary anymore is later. Get rid of that, get involved with the experts now, but don't just have symposia, don't just have talking groups, get out there and show me how you can physically implement this and let the public see it. The days of depending on beautiful brochures and size 0 models toasting themselves on the upper decks is gone. The audience today wants to see the process. They want to see which crew, they want to actually see the crews on those ships right now getting them ready. They want to see what's being done to their cabin. They want to see what's being done to the dining room. They want to see what's being done to the buffet. They want to see what's being done to the showrooms. They want to see what's being done to the galley. They want to be seeing what's done in the engine room, everything. This is not about glossy pictures and size 0 breast enlarged models anymore. Forget it. They want process because that's going to give them the security and the security blanket, if you will, and the comfort zone to what not only just book with confidence, but tell their friends and actually go. So anybody who's involved right now in the process and who's going to be transparent about it and involve the media so we can actually see that process and report on what they're doing, good, bad, or ugly. Now's the time to do it. Don't wait. Don't tell me you're going to wait till it's ready. Nothing is ready. We get that. Show me what you're doing right now as you're going through the process. That's the key.
Right. I know Royal Caribbean came up with a digitized version of the boat drill called Muster 2.0, which will cut down on crowds, et cetera. What do you think about digitizing safety drills? I mean, is it?
Well, as long as the information is dispensed in a way that people can relate to it, why not? Yeah. I mean, look, I know it's kind of a fun photo op to put your life preserver on, go back to your cabin and go to your muster station and stand there. But here's the deal. Let's go back to the Costa Concordia. A lot of those people died because they went back to their cabin and were told to stay there.
Right.
When in fact, there were more than enough life preservers on the upper decks and in public areas that would have solved the problem for them. Remember, this ship didn't sink. This ship just kind of listed in there. And so the lesson to be learned there is whether you're going to go digital or not, in the event of an emergency, the last place you want to go is your cabin, right? Because what they tell you normally is go back to your cabin, get your essential medications, get your glasses, and get your life preserver and go to your muster station. That's critical time lost. That is critical time lost. So if they're going to digitize it, what they should say in the digitized muster drill is, in the event of an emergency and you hear the blast on the ship's whistle, just go here. Don't go back to your cabin.
Right.
You know what? I'll get the message. And if I lose the photo op, it's okay.
So when cruising opens up, is there any particular destination that you're gravitating towards? What's your favorite destination or cruise ship that you want to go on?
You know, I'm looking forward to a lot of the new smaller expedition ships. I think those are really a lot of the future of cruising. Get into the ports and the locations that the other ships can't. I have nothing against the big Royal Caribbean mega ships, but I love the idea of what's going on with Silversea and with Seabourn and with Crystal and with Ritz-Carlton. I mean, what they're coming up with that gives them more options. You know, when you go back to the first days of the Love Boat, forgetting the nature of the show, but the total number of ports of call that any cruise ship would have called on in those days, it might have been 40. Now we're over 1,400, and we're just getting started. And one of the things that we're going to see, and you can count on it, is that when cruising does come back, and it will come back, we're going to model it in many cases after the 9/11 playbook. And the 9/11 playbook was people do not want to fly over large bodies of water to get to their ship. They're scared of other things. In those days, it was terrorism, now it's the virus and their inability to get back if there's a problem. So what you're going to see initially is cruise ports like Mobile, Alabama, New Orleans, and Philadelphia, and Baltimore, Los Angeles, Seattle, all the U.S. ports, some of which didn't even know they had ports, will be used as drive-to destinations to make things on an introductory basis easy. Drive your car, get out of the car, get on the ship. And I think that's a good idea. But for me, I would love to get out on one of those expedition ships, go back to the Galapagos, get down to the Antarctic again, do the Russian Far East. I mean, those are the things that I really look forward to.
Well, hopefully I'll be there with you. Antarctica has been on my bucket list. I haven't been yet, but I'm looking forward to going there. There's a variety of ships going down there, including seaborne, so that could be very, very interesting.
If you want to go on a ship that's a true expedition ship, that's not just going to stop and let you look at it, but that's going to be out off of the zodiacs you're going to go. I did my first trip to the Antarctic, so that's my 7th continent. It took me a long time to get there, but I went about a year and a half ago. It was probably the highlight of my travel experience.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What ship were you on?
It was Silversea.
Oh, it was Silversea. Okay.
And I'm telling you, they did a great job.
Yeah.
We saw stuff that, I mean, I still wake up at night going, wow. And the wow factor there cannot be oversold.
Yeah. Peter, thank you so much. And I look forward to cruising with you in the very near future and seeing you. It's been so long, I forgot what you look like.
Well, I'll see you at the redirected buffet.
There you go. All the best. Thank you, Peter Greenberg. Thank you so much.